पहली बार जा रहा हूँ.
Hey guys, welcome to yet another YouTube live with us. We'll discuss about the markets here. And my name is Vasant. I am here to discuss about the top news related stuff that happened within the last 2 weeks or so and some fundamental changes that happened. But not much has happened in the fundamental space or the news space. You know, everything looks to be a little quieter. And this can be seen in the volatility index as well, right? VIX भी बहुत नीचे है और नीचे ही है एक हफ्ते से. So all that combined together, there's not much for me to do right now. But I have a couple of points that I want to really discuss. But before that, I want all of you guys to quickly type in hi in the chat so that I can see who and all are with me right now. So just quickly give me one hi in the chat. And meanwhile, I'll just quickly write down what I want to talk about, the key points that I want to talk about on the top cam. So I'll just quickly write the key points here. And till then, keep sending highs in the chat. Let me know who and all are there. Just keep giving me a hi. Yeah, I can see Bunny in the chat. Hi, Bunny. Bunny, is that your real name? Is your real name Bunny? Okay, cool. So the first key point I want to talk about are layoffs. So a lot of layoffs are happening. You know, people are letting go of a lot of employees. How is that going to, work out in the future? What does that signify? We'll talk about that, and what is the news about layoffs that's coming out. We'll talk about that as well. Then I want to talk about something related to banks. The bank, something related to do with the tenure in the banks. Now, what tenure am I talking about? Is this the loan tenure? Well, no, it's not the loan tenure, it's something else. We'll talk about that as well. What is this? Then we'll also talk about bonus issue. Some companies have given out a bonus very, very recently, but it seems like those companies might not be completely honest with their bonus issue. It might be a tactic to stop the share price falling even further. So we'll talk about that company and that bonus issue as well. Okay, I can see a lot of guys in the chat now. Hi guys, how are you all? So with this, well, let's take a look at one more key point that I want to cover, and that's the last point. That is, I think, general crypto market. What's happening with crypto now? Now that FTX has happened, big thing that's happened. We covered that on the YouTube video as well. I'm sure all of you guys must have seen that video. Wonderful video, right? Shiv sir explaining everything about crypto and what happened with FTX and all those things. And of course, the final thing that we need to talk about is inflation. So let's quickly start. Let's start by talking about the layoff point. Well, a lot of people are, okay, video is echoing. Someone says that video is echoing, the audio is echoing. Yeah, just give us 1 second. We'll quickly give a solution for that. I'll just keep quiet for maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Yeah, my technical team says it's all good to go now. Give me a yes in the chat or thumbs up in the chat if it's all okay now. Yeah, video is clear, perfect. So the first thing we'll talk about is the layoffs. Well, a lot of companies have announced layoffs, right? Around the world, you can see, not just in India. And today, and I think yesterday night, Google also has announced that they'll be laying off about 1,000 employees. Now, Google, tech companies, the new age companies that have recently done IPO, all these guys are announcing layoffs. But what does that mean for the future? How is layoffs going to affect us? Well, the thing is, whenever someone takes a decision like layoffs or a decision like investing money, they always do so thinking about the future. Now, that simply means that if layoffs are happening, the companies that are doing the layoff expect low demand in the future. They expect कि उतना काम नहीं होगा for so many people, and that's why they lay off people. Now, this is not related to what's happening right now. This is about the future. So if a company like Google says that they're laying off 1,000 employees, well, they might be expecting less demand in the future. And that is a very bad signal, right? That signals a very recession kind of a future that's about to come. And recently, Jeff Bezos also gave out a sentence about Black Friday. Jeff Bezos told directly on our face that don't go buy that big screen TV or that fancy laptop that you want to buy. Rather, keep the money safe with you because there's a recession that's about to come that no one has ever seen before. So the future looks a little grim because of the layoff and because of the kind of statements these guys are giving. But we never know, right, what is going to happen completely in the future. So that is something that we'll wait and watch. So that's point number one. Point number two is the bank tenure that I was talking about. Now, very recently, maybe I think 10 days ago or so, banks have announced an increase of tenure. Now, tenure is the time period associated with anything. So, loans ka tenure hota hai. Well, banks have not announced that their loans tenure will be increased. Banks, especially the public sector banks, have announced that the management tenure will increase. Pehle kya hota tha is that the management would come, whatever is the management position, whether it's a director, whether it's the managing director, whether it's the chief operating officer, whether it's the chief executive officer. Whoever it was, they had a tenure in public sector banks only up to 3 years or so. Now, we have observed in the last 10 or 15 years or so in the management that 3 years is not a very long enough time to implement all new actions or any kind of new plan that you come up with as the management. And that is why public sector banks have now decided to increase this management tenure from 3 years all the way up to 5 years or even 10 years in some cases. And that is a very, very good thing as an investor because it signifies that the management that is coming to banks is extremely professional and banks would like to have those people in management for some more time so that they can execute all the actions that they talk about. So that is something positive. That is something we should be celebrating right now. We should be looking at right now. The third thing I want to talk about is bonus issue. So bonus issue is nothing but a corporate action taken by a company. Now, bonus issue can happen in several different ways. Let's take the recent example of Nykaa. So I'll just quickly write Nykaa here so that you guys can see. Nykaa recently announced a bonus issue. I think on 11th of November was the X date or the record date. So on 11th November, Nykaa gave the bonus and the bonus was 5:1. This meant that if you had 1 share of Nykaa in your Demat account, that 1 share would become 5 shares of Nykaa after the bonus. Now, generally, it's a very, very good thing. Any company that gives out bonus basically wants to reduce the price of their shares and increase the number of shares in the market, thereby getting more retail participation. They usually do this because they see their share price increasing over the years. So they don't mind reducing the price by giving out a bonus. But in case of Nykaa, something fishy happened and a lot of investors actually complained about it. Well, that is, because Nykaa ka pre-IPO investors jo the, the big, large investors who invested a lot of money in Nykaa before Nykaa did an IPO, these guys had a lock-in period of 1 full year. And their lock-in period ended on 10th November. And as soon as their lock-in period ended, a lot of these guys would want to book their profits. And if they book their profits, they'll have to sell the shares of Nykaa. And if they would sell the shares of Nykaa, well, there would be a sharp fall in the share price. Looking at the fall, other retail investors would also go and sell their shares, thereby making the share price fall even further. And it looks like Nykaa announced their bonus issue on 11th November just to stop that share price from falling. Well, what is that true? Whether they have done that, whether they have done the bonus issue for exactly that reason or some other reason, we actually don't know. That is something the Nykaa management can answer. But currently, investors are speculating that the bonus was done only to stop the share price from falling further. So with this, I want to talk about one final thing. So one final thing is that about the crypto market and inflation around the corner that's happening right now. So let's talk about the crypto market first. Well, in the crypto market, ever since FTX has fallen, FTX has gone bankrupt, SBF has been criticized everywhere on the internet. There are tons of YouTube videos. We have done our YouTube video on FTX as well. Go check that out. You will like that video. we have Shiv Mehta sir directly explaining about crypto. So after FTX has fallen, there has been a lot of negativity in the crypto space. A lot of people are outright bearish about the crypto space. A lot of people are criticizing crypto space left and right. So because of that, you can see crypto is still under a lot of scrutiny. And because of this, well, there might be a lot of regulation that might come in the future. So there's a good talk of regulation going on all around the world, including countries like El Salvador. Why El Salvador? Well, El Salvador is one of those countries which has made crypto their legal tender. मतलब वहाँ पे you can use crypto to buy grocery, to buy cars, to buy whatever you want within the country. So they might be the first ones to actually come with regulation. Who knows, right? So there is a lot of things going around crypto related to regulation and all those things, which are very interesting to read right now. So if you're interested in the crypto space, well, keep up with all the regulation work that's going to happen now. And finally, let's talk about inflation. Well, inflation was going up and up and up and up for a long, long time. People were worried all the time, inflation this, inflation that. Crude oil prices also hitting the roof, going above $110 and all those things. But now, both of them seem to be coming back down. Crude oil prices are crashing back, and it is mostly because Russia has announced a price cap on the crude oil that they will be giving around the world. And they will be giving it to India as well. And they have announced a price cap of around $80 to $85 per barrel, which is, I think, very close to the average price that we consider in India. So because of that, the crude oil prices are falling, and because crude oil prices and all of those things are falling, well, inflation is finally coming under control. And if inflation comes under control, we might finally see interest rates coming back down, or maybe just staying there for a while. It might not go up in the future a lot. So we finally can see the end of the interest rate cycle, maybe 1 or 2 more interest rate hikes, maybe 3 more interest rate hikes, but I think that would be the maximum. 6 to 8 months down the line, this interest rate hike might stop. And that is something very positive for the market. And automatically, we can see the effect on the markets. The markets are moving upwards again in the short term kind of a basis. Markets are very, looking very bullish. Sensex Nifty trading very close to their all-time highs. And Bank Nifty, तो आप सबको पता है Bank Nifty तो all-time high पे ही है almost. So banks are doing very, very well. So these were all the points that I really, wanted to cover today. But because macroeconomics and because the fundamental world of investing has so much data to cover, I will not be able to cover every single news point or every single data. So you can let me know in the chat or in the comments if you want me to cover something specific that you read during the last week or the last 2 weeks. So if you want me to comment on any of those specific things, you can let me know in the chat. Now, with this, I am pretty sure that people who watch this every week are waiting for that technical analysis and for that option chain derivative analysis. So to do the technical analysis and to do the option chain and the derivative analysis, I will call on Mayank now. So Mayank is my colleague who is an expert, and he's an experienced trader in options and technical analysis.
Hi everyone. So let's start today's analysis with Dow Jones. So now आप सबको यहाँ पे अभी डो जोन्स का चार्ट दिख रहा होगा, ठीक है। अगर आप इसको सिंपल देखेंगे तो भी नॉर्मली आपको यहाँ पर एक जो उसका रेजिस्टेंस था, प्रीवियस रेजिस्टेंस का ब्रेकआउट देखने को मिल रहा है यहाँ पर, ठीक है। इसने यहाँ से ऊपर क्लोज करा है, ठीक है। इसके बाद अगर हम नेक्स्ट डे का भी चार्ट देखें तो इसका जो लास्ट टाइम का बॉटम था, हमें वहाँ से एक अच्छी रिकवरी देखने को मिली है। तो अगर इसके साथ ही अगर ग्लोबल मार्केट यहाँ से बहुत तेज़ी से रिकवर होते हैं तो हमें जो निफ्टी अभी 18,500 पे है, तो मे बी बिकॉज ऑफ ग्लोबल मार्केट भी पॉजिटिव होंगे तो हमें ये रिकवरी हमारे इंडियन मार्केट में भी दिखेगी और हम 19,000 तक भी जा सकते हैं। अगर आप इसको देखेंगे तो आप एक बहुत ही सिंपल एनालिसिस जो हम सब करते हैं, तो आप उसका एक बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल देख सकते हैं कि हमें नेस्डेक में फिलहाल एक RSI डाइवर्जेंस भी देखने को मिल रहा है, यहाँ पर जो RSI था उसके बाद प्राइस ने एक नया लो बनाया, लेकिन RSI ने एक नया हाई बनाया। तो ये बहुत अच्छा एग्जांपल है RSI डाइवर्जेंस का। चलिए अब हम हमारा निफ्टी का चार्ट देखते हैं। निफ्टी आज क्लोज हुआ है अराउंड 18,512 पे, जो कि इसका सबसे हाईएस्ट क्लोजिंग लेवल है अभी तक का। ओके गाइस, इसके बाद हम डेरिवेटिव डाटा भी देखेंगे और देखेंगे कि कहाँ पर शॉर्ट बिल्डअप हो रहा है, कहाँ पर लॉन्ग बिल्डअप हो रहा है, इन सब चीज़ों को। और जैसे हम बैंक निफ्टी को जानते हैं कि बैंक निफ्टी भी इस बार सबसे हमारे ऑल टाइम हाई पे क्लोज हुआ है अराउंड 42,983 पर। इसमें इस वीक में जो सबसे ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेंट था वो PSU बैंक्स का था। अगर हम यहाँ पर निफ्टी PSU बैंक का चार्ट देखते हैं तो आपको देखने को मिलेगा इस वीक अराउंड 5.18% की रैली आई थी PSU बैंक में। ठीक है, इसके साथ साथ जो सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग सेक्टर मुझे लग रहे हैं वो है IT। IT में भी आपको नेस्डेक जैसा एक बहुत ही सिंपल RSI डाइवर्जेंस देखने को मिलेगा। ठीक है, और ये इसके साथ साथ आपको एक बहुत ही सिंपल W पैटर्न देखने को मिल रहा है। जब हमारा IT अराउंड 30,500 के ऊपर अगर इसने नेक्स्ट वीक में क्लोज दे देता है, मतलब ये एक W पैटर्न बनाने का है और उसके बाद एक अच्छी रैली इस सेक्टर में आ सकती है। इसके बाद हम ऑटो सेक्टर देखते हैं। तो ऑटो सेक्टर भी जैसे अभी अपने ऑल टाइम हाई पे है, हम इसका मंथली चार्ट देखेंगे तो आप देख सकते हैं ऑटो सेक्टर भी अभी हमारा ऑल टाइम हाई पे ट्रेड कर रहा है। लेकिन जब हम इसका वीकली चार्ट देखते हैं तो अभी हमें इसमें थोड़ी सी बेयरिशनेस देखने को मिलती है, क्योंकि अभी इसका जो रेजिस्टेंस है अराउंड 13,500 के पास हमें देखने को मिल रहा है। तो अभी जो सबसे अच्छा सेक्टर है वो IT हो सकता है, जिसमें हमें एक रिवर्सल पैटर्न देखने को मिल रहा है अगर इसका नेक्स्ट वीक का क्लोज हमें 13,500 के ऊपर आता है। आइए अब हम डेरिवेटिव डाटा देखते हैं और समझते हैं कि डेरिवेटिव डाटा के हिसाब से सपोर्ट रेजिस्टेंस निफ्टी बैंक निफ्टी के कहाँ पे आ सकते हैं। तो ये हमारी निफ्टी की चेन है, हम वीकली डाटा देख रहे हैं। तो आप यहाँ पे देख पा रहे होंगे कि जो हमारे नीचे की स्ट्राइक है, मतलब 18,300, 18,350 और 18,400, यहाँ पर आपको शॉर्ट कवरिंग देखने को मिल रही है पुट्स कॉल साइड में। इसका मतलब है कि यहाँ के जितने भी लोगों ने कॉल शॉर्ट करे थे, अब उनको ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो ट्रैप हो सकते हैं, इसलिए अब वो अपनी पोजीशन यहाँ से क्लोज करके ऊपर की तरफ शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं। ठीक है, और जो हमें हमारी सबसे मैक्सिमम हमारा कॉल साइड में OI है वो 18,500 पर है, और सेम वो पुट साइड में भी 18,500 पर मैक्सिमम हमारा OI है। और यहाँ पे हमें कहीं पर भी मैक्सिमम कहीं पे भी शॉर्ट कवरिंग देखने को नहीं मिल रही है पुट साइड में, लेकिन आप देखेंगे तो आपको पुट साइड में बहुत हैवीली राइटिंग देखने को मिल रही है। तो इसके दो मतलब हो सकते हैं, पहला कि मार्केट का यहाँ से सडनली नीचे जाना में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम होगी, क्योंकि हमें पुट राइटिंग बहुत ज़्यादा देखने को मिलती है। आइए हम बैंक निफ्टी भी देखते हैं। बैंक निफ्टी का अभी जो ATM है वो अराउंड 43,000 है। तो आप जो इसमें देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर भी आपको जो मैक्सिमम राइटिंग है वो ATM पे देखने को मिल रही है 1,96,000 के करीब, और पुट साइड में भी वो 1,34,000 है। अभी हमें निफ्टी में और बैंक निफ्टी में दोनों पे मैक्सिमम राइटिंग ATM पे देखने को इसलिए भी मिल रही है क्योंकि अगर हम इंडिया विक्स का चार्ट देखें तो आप देखेंगे कि अभी हमारी इंडियन विक्स ऑल टाइम लो लेवल के करीब करीब, ऑल टाइम लो जो हमारा ऑल टाइम लो नहीं, जो हमारा 2021 का लो था अराउंड 11.56 का, और अभी हम आ चुके हैं 13.33 पे। बिकॉज ऑफ विक्स IV जो ऑप्शंस के प्रीमियम थे वो बहुत कम है, इसलिए जो ऑप्शन सेलर है वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा प्रीमियम गेन करना चाहते हैं, इसलिए वो ATM पे ही बने रहे हैं, इसलिए हमें सबसे ज़्यादा OI अभी ATM पे देखने को मिल रहा है। तो हम यहाँ से अभी ये मान सकते हैं कि जो मार्केट का व्यू है वो साइडवेज टू बुलिश हो सकता है। और जो सबसे अच्छे सेक्टर है वो आईटी। ओके दोस्तों, तो अगर इसके ऊपर क्लोज होता है तो हमें एक अच्छी आईटी में रैली देखने को मिलेगी। एनीथिंग एल्स दोस्तों? ओके, तो ये था आज का हमारा टेक्निकल एनालिसिस। इसमें हमने देखा कि कौन कौन से सेक्टर ने क्या था परफॉर्म करा है लास्ट वीक, जिसमें पीएसयू सेक्टर का बहुत अच्छा पार्टिसिपेंट था बैंकों में। अगर हम स्टॉक के बारे में देखें तो एचडीएफसी जो कि बैंकिंग में बहुत अच्छा वेटेज रखता है, उसने भी लास्ट वीक कुछ खास परफॉर्म नहीं करा था, वो लगभग साइडवेज ही रहा था। तो ये था एक सिंपल एनालिसिस, मतलब अकॉर्डिंग टू आवर एनालिसिस हम मार्केट से एक बुलिश टू साइडवेज मूवमेंट नेक्स्ट वीक में एक्सेप्ट कर सकते हैं। तो ओके दोस्तों, फिर हम मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीक में और देखते हैं कि मार्केट कैसा परफॉर्म करता है हमारे एनालिसिस के अनुसार और मार्केट हमें क्या नई चीज दिखाता है। ओके दोस्तों, बाय।